Hello Milky friends, Milkstore here with you for another Idle Heroes video. How are you? I hope you're well. Today is going to be a very quick video. It's going to be a follow-up to my last video because I feel like certain people might not have got the so what from the last video, to be honest, it was one of those passing comments that I made that when I thought about it overnight, which is quite sad because I've got nothing else in my life to think about, I just really wanted to emphasize this point. So, Scroll heroes, the new heroes that they introduce every single month, they've been consistently useless over time. So, Xiaohu is the Kung Fu Panda, but if you look at the last few heroes that they've introduced, right? Gloria's useless, Flora has been useless. If you go to Dark, Forces has been useless. Drake and Kerry and Amon-Ra still very useful and still much needed for Void Vanquisher. Who are the useless ones? Look, really, people are only using Andrea, and I've been told that Ada is very good for, where was it? Guild Settlement. Apparently, you don't need to imprint her, and she can pass Revered on, or certainly at the very least, Intimate. Just if you give her Resonance gear, apparently that's all it takes, right? So apparently she's useful for that. Leaving that aside, though, you don't really see Ada around anymore. Who else are we going to go through? I mean, everyone, you would argue, in the Abyss faction has been useless since, this Ignis, and then Delacium, you know, they were both useful. And then if you go here, Sarge is kind of useless. Fiona was useful, but is now useless. Inosuke is now useless. I'm going to argue Sherlock is still useful, because I still use a Sherlock, but then everyone else is kind of useless. The point is, there haven't been that many great heroes, thankfully as well, because, you know, you don't want to scroll for every new hero and go for the Transcendent Heroes. That would just cost a lot of money. But increasingly, unfortunately, it looks like you have no choice but to go for every single new hero and build them all out. And the reason why I say this, and you've probably clued onto it, if you haven't, I'm going to tell you why. It's because when you go to Cloud Island, if you accept that Cloud Island is going to be a very important part of the game going forward, then you need no look further than the tenants that occupy the different spots, the 4 spots for the householders, and realize where they're going to fit in, right? You're like, well, I still don't see it. Well, let me scroll down a bit. You can see now, see how the Panda has just suddenly become another potential tenant for Russell? And you see how there's a maximum of 3 possible tenants for each householder, right? So these spots, they're going to fill out, so then you're going to have an option of up to 3 tenants per spot. And that's going to be important because guess what? Transcendent heroes are fucking hard to get. And for example, let's say Fairy Queen Vesa, right? How many times are you going to be able to deploy, the Jara, Starwing Jara, right? How many times are you going to be able to deploy Swordflash Seer across all these different heroes? Because look, I've already deployed my Starwing Jara for Queen, but then if I build Fairy Queen Vesa and I need someone to be in tenant spot 4, well, I then have to switch to Delacium, right? You've only got so many heroes, and I think increasingly what's going to happen is, unfortunately, if you want to fill out all your tenant spots, those tenant spots are going to go to the new heroes because they're all empty now. And you see how, you know, you can get a maximum of 3 heroes per tenant spot. These empty spots, they're going to be filled out by all the new heroes. And you're going to have to build them in E5 because it's going to be a lot cheaper to get, you're going to get more bang for buck getting a hero to E5 than you are, you know, getting incrementally upgrading these little residential buildings for, you know, like 0.4% a time. That's what I'm seeing. That's the unfortunate state of this game. Like, congrats to DH for making new heroes relevant again. Well, relevant to Cloud Island. Whether they're useful anywhere else, not sure. But all of a sudden, right? Really, really old heroes like Cruz is kind of useless. He's still useful-ish to have around. Who else is useless? Garuda, I need to get rid of him because he's now kind of junky. Carry, where can you use Carry? In the household, you can't. A lot of these heroes I'm just going to replace slowly over time with the new householders because that's just the way the game has evolved. Anyway, that's the video. Hope you have a great day ahead. Thanks for watching.